Hey everyone, it's Derrick here with another video, and today we're talking about an add-on to a prior video about the Elite Direto. And what we're going to talk about here is how you can tighten up the belt after adding in the fix that I had in my prior video, which I'll link up here. So first thing that was specified to me by the Elite team was that you have to make sure that you tighten up the pulley on the actual trainer itself to make sure that we attribute for the change that we have made. So right in here is that metal piece that we modified previously, and where we put the JB weld and made sure that those two pieces were sticking together. And then here is where that pulley adjustment is. And actually, now that I look at it, it looks like this is busted. So I'll probably have to send a picture of that to them and show them that this is broken. So I might have a particular issue here, so you definitely don't want to tighten this too much and break the actual metal piece here. I've done a couple of things and spoke to some more of the customer support that they have. So I showed them a picture of this crack within the tightening screws of the belt and showed them that, hey, like, this looks like it could be an issue. Can you help me with this? And they asked me about when I placed the order and what country I live in. So since I live in the US and Elite is based in Europe, they were telling me that they can't do anything, first off, because of the warranty. It's expired. It's only been 2 years since I've had this thing. So a little bit troubling. So it's hard for me to really recommend this product, especially because I know that this is an issue for the other trainers that they have. So just to show you what I'm working on here is I've JB welded the cracks within the actual trainer here. So I'll show you. I think it's a piece of aluminum, but we'll show you here. So as you can see here, I've put a layer of JB weld over this, and there were a bunch of cracks in there. So one right here and then one right here, and then some of it went a little bit out here. So right now I'm waiting for it to cure. And what I did also was stick this bolt in here and stick this other bolt in here, which I mentioned has to be twisted around 12 times. So I have that sitting in there and everything really tuned correctly. So this is tensioned up pretty good to what it's supposed to be. And you can see in here where those screws go. So I looked on this side, which is where this bolt actually screws into. And I made sure that there weren't any cracks on this side, because the crack was most likely because I was tightening this up and I possibly tightened it too much. So that's one thing to note, is Elite was having me do sort of their job. So I went ahead and did that, and now I'm trying to fix the issue that I caused in the first place, it seems. But to be fair, they were telling me that I should be doing this. They didn't really ask me about warranty or anything like that before I started working on this. So that's one thing to note also, is that just first off, just say, hey, is this covered under warranty? But also take note, if you're based or if you live in Europe, then this might be easier for you to resolve the issue with them. If you live in the US or another country, it's most likely going to be an issue, because the first thing that they said was, well, it costs too much for us to ship this huge thing back and forth. So, and it takes quite a bit to repair it too. So essentially what they're saying is, it'll cost me more, or it'll cost me less just to replace it with a different trainer. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is put this back on here and wait for it to cure. And then, yeah, we'll just go on our merry way as if nothing happens. Because in general, I think it works fine after I've tightened everything and I have the new calibration numbers. But yeah, just a note for everybody out there who's buying these products. If you're in the US and you want this thing to last long, it may not be the best idea. Also, maybe just don't tighten the screws as much as I did. What you typically do for these trainers, these smart trainers, is that you ride them for 10 minutes and then after that you can calibrate them. And you can calibrate it using the e-training app. And that's what the app is currently. It might change later because I heard that they were acquired by a new company called Upgrado. And yeah, so you use this app to modify or to calibrate it. So it should give you a number similar to what I'll show on the screen here. But underneath your trainer, it actually gives you, it's called an offset. They calibrate it and tighten everything to spec, and it's set up to be this particular number. But after you make this modification, the number goes up much higher. So not to worry is what I was told, and that this will be your new calibration number. But the thing to note here is that you should do this anyways, because if you're riding this thing all the time, it's most likely because there is a flaw within the actual, within this here, which will cause some issues, whether it be the belt loosening or whether it be this crank pulley here, down here, making some noise. So one way or the other, it sort of just makes sense to go with a different brands, and if you go with a different brand, you may never run into these issues. You may run into these. I haven't looked up whether Wahoo or Saris or any of these other companies have that same issue, but this is the only one that I've dealt with, so I just want everybody out there to know and to try to look out for you, because I don't want you to make the same mistake I did, you know, spending like $750 on something and then having to replace it 2 years later. I also just don't want to have to waste this. Like, it's already a product that's made, and you know, if I can use this moving forward, I'd prefer to do that versus just buying a brand new sparkly new one. And yeah, maybe I'll end up selling this one after it's repaired and trying to ride with it for a few hundred miles and make sure that it still works, and then, you know, sell it to somebody for real cheap and then upgrade to a new one. But with that said, thank you all for watching, and yeah, just hope you all have a good experience doing this. It's nice that Elite is there to give you some of the documentation. It would be better if they had it available just publicly on their website versus hiding it underneath, like unlisted in YouTube. That seems a little bit odd to me. So anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.